That's all we get. That's all we get of Dancing Zemo. That's all we get for that. So hi everybody. We're here. It's me, Nikki, and Alan's here, and um, I'm screwing all of this up. I had this whole story built up and ready. So it's a joke. Like it's a little comic book thing. You see, like see, you got they're saying dialogue, and then I threw T'Challa in there, and I threw.
Yeah.
Captain Carter in there, and you got a little dancing Loki. So, I mean, even though I don't do well with the whole entire intro thing, hi guys, this is TMG After Dark. We're here tonight, me and Alan, and whoever else we could figure out to join us. We sent out the link to a couple people. If they can get in here, we would love to have them. And yeah, so we're gonna pretty much talk about Spider-Man Far From Home, that trailer, and the first 3 episodes of Marvel's What If, spoilerly. But luckily, I'm not alone. I got Dr. Spaceman with me. Alan.
Yeah, I'm here. Always glad to be here. Good to see you again, sir. So, yeah, let's talk a lot of Marvel stuff.
Yeah, lots of Marvel stuff, and we got the view screen up, and that's... I don't want to be rude to the people and just like go super close up to them, but let's
go super close.
Yeah, let's start talking. Which do you want to start with first? Do you want to go with the?
Well, let's talk about let's do the Spider-Man. Because that Spider-Man? The Spider-Man the trailer was leaked. A little bit before. I didn't watch the leaked version because I never do the leaked kind of stuff. I always wait for the real thing because it's just not worth it to me. Yeah. So, but I did watch it finally when it dropped, and was excited. I mean, there's so many people have talked about this trailer. It was exciting. It was fun. Gave us a little taste of what what we thought may be happening some way. One of the other Avengers is going to jump in here. So we got Doctor Strange. And interesting, I like the interesting take on him asking that big favor to reveal or make his identity. Yeah, because it kind of adds a bunch of scenarios from the comics. Particularly One More Day. Yeah, that's scenario.
People like push back on sometimes. I for one, like that was one of the first like comics that I actually like sought out because I had this big Spider-Man encyclopedia. And that was one that was in there that like I sought out. I was like, oh, cool, Aunt May. And it's just one of those things where they're doing it. They might be doing it a little differently, or guys don't. But we could be having another Mephisto situation. I don't understand why people act like they've won or lost something when their theory is right or wrong. Like I was reading Mephisto Bell like the whole entire WandaVision thing, but I don't really care. Like, it wasn't Mephisto for that. Maybe it's Mephisto down the line. But like I just liked it for what it was, so I didn't really care about it. But
there was
no, you go first.
Well, the weird about maybe Doctor Strange acting a little strange,
Strange,
So having that Mephisto kind of vibe, just throwing caution to the wind, but also Doctor Strange is pretty arrogant. That's one thing I think a lot of people kind of forget, that he's a very arrogant guy. So I think it's kind of par for the course for him to do. Sure, I'll try something like this, and he knows the consequences, and that's why he kept telling Peter, "Hey, shut up! Stop adding things to this. Let me do my job, and then we'll see what happens." So I, for one, am excited about seeing all the villains. It looks like we're going to get that Sinister Six probably, because we saw lightning from them. We saw lightning. We saw a bunch of sand. We potentially saw a lizard, and then we definitely saw the pumpkin bomb, and of course that fantastic reveal of everybody's favorite Doc Ock, which I thought was just a brilliantly played move for these trailer editors to give us that great reveal, because that made me really happy to see Molina back as Doc Ock, because my favorite Spider-Man will always be Spider-Man 2. Hands down, greatest Spider-Man movie ever made.
I agree.
So yeah, I love that moment. And and there was people saying, "Oh, how come we're not seeing other Spider-Man?" You know, Spider-Man.
No,
But
I don't want to see any other Spider-Man.
yeah, I don't want to see any other. I honestly don't. But if we do, cool. But I
If
don't
we
want
do it
that
in
to
the
be the
movie, that's
whole
fine.
thing.
I don't want to see it in the
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah, I don't want
Don't
to see trailers.
do that in the
Exactly.
trailer.
Trailers spoil way too much, so
Yeah,
let us be
especially
surprised by
Sony
something.
Spider-Man trailers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
remember the Amazing
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
trailers always
that
spoil
came
too
out?
much.
And I was thinking that, like, the whole entire Andrew Garfield thing with the Amazing Spider-Man, the way that how quickly like they turned that around, how it was just we're doing
Mm,
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, full force ahead, and then like 2 years later, not even they're negotiating the deal with Marvel to like get him in the MCU. I think was the timeline there. Might have been a little bit longer, but it seems like it was very, very quickly.
that was a quick turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's so much to dig into with this trailer. Like the Alfred Molina, it took me forever. I was just so excited that he was there and he looked like Doc Ock that I didn't even like realize that it was de-aged until maybe the 36th time that I watched the trailer, and that's only because I heard somebody say they de-aged him. Like, oh yeah, that movie was 20 years ago. So he would look a lot different now. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I see some leaked images, which I'm not sure like what the validity of those images are. Like some of them, a lot of these leaked images and leaked trailers will attach themselves to real footage and real stuff. So I don't know how much
Mm,
there's to those stuff, but just one thing that I realized: the suits in this trailer. Spider-Man has a couple
yeah.
different suits in this trailer, specifically Tobey Maguire's suit from the Spider-Man movies, that suit that he would wear when he would go out to dinner or he would go to a funeral or anywhere where he'd have to wear a suit. MJ's show,
Mm-hmm.
he would have this suit on, and Tom Holland's wearing the same suit,
Yeah.
wearing Tobey Maguire's clothes. So I'm wondering
Yeah.
maybe it's like a Scott Bakula quantum leap situation where Tom Holland has quantum leaped into Tobey Maguire's body, because you don't go from wearing like those punny t-shirts one day to wearing this like three-piece suit the next day. There's some sort of like transition period there, and we have seen him wear suits before. I'm really big on the suit game today. I don't think we do see the Iron Spider suit in the trailer. And I think that may be one of those CGI Marvel trickery things where that's not
Oh, that's not really
has
what that is.
yeah, it's not really what it is, but it's there in the trailer because it's like, okay, well, it does form around him. Like I've seen images of that black and gold suit that maybe that draws elements
Mm,
of different suits throughout the multiverse is one thing that I've heard. But
yeah.
Doctor Strange element of it, how much does that like add to your like would you already be this excited for a Spider-Man movie even if Doctor Strange wasn't in it? Because this trailer, it really almost looks like it's as much of a Doctor Strange movie as it is a Spider-Man movie. Like you're getting the Spider-Man
Yeah.
theme and all that stuff, but the
Yeah.
visuals, like that looks like a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, which is cool because we only got that limited visuals in that first Doctor Strange movies, you know, with the inverted cities and all that kind of thing. We got a little bit of it in Infinity War and some of the battle sequences, but not a lot. So
That's great.
I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited because I think it still feels it'll be Peter's story,
Yeah.
but we're getting and it's something we all loved once the other Marvel characters started interacting in the movies with the solo films. Because why wouldn't they? They're around, they're there. So why not be around in the stories? So I'm excited about that Doctor Strange aspect because you're getting a play off of how would Peter, how would Spider-Man interact with Doctor Strange. And for something this big that he wants the world to forget who he is, you're going to need that kind of cosmic power, that magic power, that altering reality power. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited about
Willem
it.
Dafoe's laugh. Like we do hear Willem Dafoe's laugh. Like that's one of the things.
Yeah, we hear.
There
Yeah,
have been images
Chris
that
just
they've been
said
leaked,
something
but
about
that is something.
misdirect.
Yeah, we see his pumpkin bomb and we hear his laugh. I don't think that's a misdirect. That sounds like, even though it's like distinctively his laugh, it sounds like a new recording of it. Like I don't think that's one that they just pulled from the archives. That's new audio
That's
from.
probably new. I'm thinking it's going to be a Sinister Six kind of thing. Yeah, they're all going to be the climax, maybe close to the climax, maybe the mid climax, something. All the villains are going to be coming because they pulled from different realities, however it worked, so they're all in the same place. And so maybe we'll see a Spider-Man team up with 2 other Spider-Man possible. I was really interested. Yeah. And I'm interested in there was something that I was talking about. You were talking about suits. There's the one scene where Peter's running through a classroom, and he's got a black Spider-Man suit on. He's got that dark. It's a dark suit. So and I thought, well, maybe it just looks that way because later on we see a little bit of a suit that he's wearing, or maybe it could be something else. Who knows?
I almost thought at first glance, I thought, oh, is that the Black Panther suit that he has on there?
I thought it was the black suit.
It looked kind of like
I thought it was the black,
the symbiote.
Yeah, the black suit.
Oh yeah,
symbiote suit would be cool.
Yeah, there you go.
But because if anything, I know Marvel probably wants to we've got a Venom movie, so the Venom thing that's technically not part of the MCU. Yeah. But if MCU can revamp or save the black suit in this movie, then that would be great because Spider-Man 3 obviously did nobody any good. And no suits any good because as much as I think Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3 is probably one of the worst superhero films ever. So
those suits in the Raimi movie, do you think if we see Toby, he will have the same classic Raimi suit? Because they didn't back in the day, they didn't have a different costume every movie for that Spider-Man.
No, they kept the same
black suit, and it was the same exact costume, just black.
The black.
So they I hope at least that he's in that classic Raimi verse Spider-Man suit.
I think they will. I think if they bring him back, I think they'll bring back Toby, then he'll be in that classic suit. And if Garfield will be in the Amazing Spider-Man suit. I think if they're there, they're going to be in their suits because they're instantly identifiable.
I think you can give Garfield a different suit as long as you keep his the spider design. Because I love the Amazing Spider-Man 1, the suit that they did there, the fabric that they had in that movie I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And then the color palette in the eyes of Amazing Spider-Man 2, I like better. It's just Amazing Spider-Man 2, that looked a little too, they made it, and it was intentional, they made it sort of windbreakery. So
a little bit.
Tight, it more blows in the wind so that it's more of a skydiving suit. And with that, I get how that's a practical thing if you're doing that. It's just I like something that's a little bit more form-fitting for my Spider-Man movies and stuff. You mentioned Sinister Six. I'd be remiss not to ask you who the 6 are. Like we got Electro, Green Goblin, Doc Ock. Those are 3 right there. You got 3 more.
Sandman, if there was some sand in one of those, so Sandman's a possibility. So that's 4, and the other 2 traditionally are Lizard and
Lizard could be in there too.
It's either usually Scorpion,
or
Hobgoblin.
Scorpion, you get some Craven in there sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going.
I don't think they're doing Craven. I think Scorpion might be if it's a new one, or if we're bringing back people, at least let's not forget the Rhino.
Oh,
because he was in.
You have no idea how much. I shit you not. And people make fun of that movie. They're bringing back Jamie Foxx. That's confirmed.
Yeah, that's confirmed already.
Back, and he is the worst part of that movie. He's the worst
by far.
And it might not be the way he's playing it. It's definitely the way that it was written and directed. He was told to do that.
Yeah.
But he was the worst part of that movie, and they brought him back. So don't be surprised if they bring Paul Giamatti back, and he's I am going to lose my shit in that theater because every time I see Paul Giamatti in anything, I start yelling, I am the Rhino. We saw Jungle Cruise a few weeks ago. I see Paul Giamatti there. Me and my dad look at each other. I am the Rhino!
Yeah, and redemption. Talk about
Yeah.
redemption from the black suit. If they can redeem Jamie Foxx's Electro and then
Yeah.
even redeem
Make him
Giamatti's
yellow.
Rhino, then that would be even better. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. They could definitely go that way with the Rhino, or if they want to introduce a Scorpion, then that's a good way to do it.
Now,
But we'll see, because they might get into the trap of introducing too much,
yes, you don't want to do
too
that.
much new stuff. So that could be a where the movie, if it has a potential to just be too much, then that's where it's going to be. Too many villains, too much crossover, too much craziness.
I gotta ask you: have you counted arm hairs at any point this week? Because apparently there's a shot of a guy slamming files down onto a desk at
And that's supposed to be Charlie.
Everybody's just zooming in on his arm and like counting the arm hairs. Look at the amount of arm hair he has. He has the same amount of arm hair as Charlie Cox. I don't think that's Charlie Cox, but Charlie Cox is in this movie too. Like that's one I definitely think is coming.
That's the kind of thing that people want to overanalyze, and I've never been that guy. Show me what you want to show me, and that's fine, because just like you mentioned earlier, they can be misdirects all the time. I mean, we saw that. I didn't even think about the Iron Spider suit could potentially not even be in the movie, because how many times have we seen in a trailer they've shown scenes that are not in the finished cut in the final movie?
I would like it if it was in the movie, just because, like, if I understand how he has his other suits, he has suits, like, you don't need to break out the Iron Spider for some bank
every time,
But like, if you're fighting the Sinister Six and like you need to put your suit on quickly, there's no reason why he wouldn't use it. So if they are using it, I like it because it's practical. But like, he should be using it. Should be protecting.
It's a cool suit.
I just love how like he like goes down like into the Spider-Man pose and it just goes around. I hate that nano. I hate like the way that it goes on. But for that, the way that he just like did the pose and then it turned into Spider-Man, I loved that. That was a cool ending.
Yeah,
classic Spider-Man.
That was a cool shot.
I don't think we're missing anything of this trailer. Like I think we got every single little tidbit about it. Am I missing something? Do you think
got the. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you think that the One More Day storyline is based on like Aunt May gets shot and then he needs to make a deal? Do you think it's like in harm's way?
I doubt that. Yeah, I doubt that. I think they might put her in peril, maybe, possibly. There's that crazy shot of the entrance in there, but honestly, I think the messing with the fabric of reality inside the multiverse is going to be enough to deal with, rather than doing extraneous things with her getting shot and making deals with Mephisto, if that's what it is. I'd rather it be something else other than that, to be honest with you.
I just hope it's a little more that, because there's a line where Peter says like, I'm not the only one getting hurt here, there's other people, but like something like that. I just hope that it's not, that there is something else and that it's not petty, because from this trailer, that's the only thing that I kind of get from this. It's like, oh, people hate you, people love you, people know you're Spider-Man, you can't go back to school. It's like, get over it. You're an Avenger. This is the job. Either man up or get out now, because if you can't handle the press shouting at you, like what are you doing, man? Why are you here? Black Widow, like, you think she cared about like when people were vilifying her? No, she did the job. So like I just hope that there's something like a little bit more there, like his family's being threatened or something, that it's not just like, oh, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to the way they were, because that's just part of growing up. Things change.
Yeah, and I really hope they don't do the I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore, because the mopey superhero wanting to give up the powers, no, that's not something I've ever been interested in. There's a reason I hate Superman 2, is because of the bullshit of him giving up his powers for Lois. No, that's not Superman. Superman knows what the job is, and he's going to do the job. Let these heroes, they've done enough self-discovery. It's time for go. It's time to do your job and be the guy.
And Superman 2, like you mentioned Spider-Man 2 before being like the best Spider-Man movie. That's the one movie that actually does that well, where the superhero is losing
Yes.
their powers.
Is doubting a little bit. Yeah.
It's a crisis of faith with him. Like it has nothing to do with him like being petty about it. It's just that like he's depressed. Like he can't figure it out, and like his web physically doesn't work. Like that's one place it does well. Superman 2 could have done it well if they added one thing, like because he gives up his powers after him and Lois hook up.
Mm-hmm.
He gives up his powers after that. If it was before that, then it would make sense. Even the show like Smallville does it a little bit better, because it's like, okay, I don't want to break my girlfriend in half. Then like, oh, I just don't want to do the job anymore. Because if it's I don't want to do the job anymore, it's petty, it's stupid. But if you physically can't, that's something else. Like that's why I always like Rogue in X-Men 3, like in all the X-Men comics, she physically cannot touch people. Like you want to give up your powers for like that makes sense. Like you're just like it's not like a selfish thing as much as like I just don't want to do the job. You're trying to actually physically contact with people, and you can't because like you're the plague. But I think if you want to move on to the what if, I think
we could do that. Oh yeah, I've seen them all.
You watched all three? Now,
watched all three.
I think we both probably have the same favorite episode. I think everybody has the same favorite episode.
This would be interesting.
What's your favorite?
My favorite of the three, I really like the third one a lot. I really like the third one a lot, but my favorite's the first one. I love.
Okay, I like that
one. Because it's anime. I love the animation works so well with the action sequences. And I've always liked Peggy Carter. I did like her show. It kind of sucked, but that was a writing thing and a directing thing. But I really enjoy the character of Peggy Carter. So I really liked that first episode, because that's a time frame. I rate my enjoyment of the films by my rewatchability, and First Avenger is never one that I rewatch all that often, but when I do, I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed that movie, so I liked being back in that world, and I loved it. I thought the action sequences were great. All the character voice acting was great. I really liked the story, nice, tight, compact. I think it's far superior than the other two.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No, it's not insane. It's just it's insane because like I thought like the polar opposite. Like I thought like the biggest thing with that episode was the pacing. The pacing. There was something off about the pacing in that episode, where Devin was the one that worded it. It felt like a previously on. Like it almost felt like this was previously on catching you up and not its own thing. Because the animation, the fight scenes, even the score, I like how they kind of like, it's almost like they merged the first Avengers score with the Kingsman score. It has nothing to do with like Kingsman. It just kind of sounded like that, and like the British stuff. But my biggest thing with that was that the voice actors in it, like the ones that were there, like Chris Evans not being there, he had a big role in that one. So that really threw me off when that wasn't him. Another thing that really threw me off, she was bigger than him before that. She's like 4 times his size now. Again, what I was saying about Superman 2, you would break that boy in half. You would split him like a log. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I was scared when I was like, oh my God, this is a huge woman that's just beautiful and strong, and like
she's a monster.
Crush me. Yeah.
You're right. I mean, that's the way. If you gotta go, that's the way to go.
And I thought that Red Skull, like some of the Red Skull stuff, they showed us a scene that was in the movie, like where he finds the Tesseract. It's like,
where he finds the Tesseract.
And the this is a thing that I have a problem with all the episodes, just because might as well go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The logical progression. I feel like the show itself, the way that the show is advertised is false advertised. Because the what if, like the nexus point that they're advertising as the nexus point, it can't be. Because there's too many other things that are a leap that would have had to come into play before that. Like Bradley Whitford.
Yeah.
Bradley Whitford's in the one shot, that Agent Carter one shot, and he's great in it. Like you're lucky to be in the room. And that's kind of like what we were pitched that the Agent Carter show is going to be. Like, it's going to be Agent Carter finding S.H.I.E.L.D. That's not what it ended up being. But they just sidestepped Tommy Lee Jones. Bradley Whitford wasn't even in the room.
No.
So like that Nexus event has to come before that. And like the way that Bucky's acting, the way that Howard's just the way some of the characters are acting, that's one thing that bothers me. And I can get over it because now I know, like, that's just not what the show is. It's a lie that they're pitching the show off of. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being lied to as long as it's like clear. Like, okay, you're because especially with the second one, all my problems that I had with the first episode were gone in the second one because it didn't feel like a retread. It didn't feel like we had been here before. I think my one problem with like the second episode, which is my favorite of them all, if you're okay with moving on to the second one.
Oh yeah, let's move on to the second one.
The voice cast in the second one, for the most part, other than I think Chris Pratt at the end of the episode, it's all like those voice actors, and it's enough of an original story where it's kind of like this heist thing that we didn't see in any of the movies. Like the Guardians movies where they're trying to steal the embers of Genesis, which I mean, come on, you totally stole that from Wrath of Khan. It's the Genesis device from Wrath of Khan. We even have 7 of Nebula, which I really liked.
Which was cool.
Great in this episode. T'Challa is so basically what this episode tells us is that Chris Pratt was a terrible Star-Lord. Peter Quill, terrible Star-Lord. And this is where I get to the logical progression part, because Thanos kind of ruins the episode for me. Like, it's funny to do some cool stuff, but that is not a logical progression of that character.
Nope.
That is not a logical progression. Korath was a disciple of Ronan. Like he wasn't. He says that he's his boss. Like, oh God, you do not understand these characters.
Yeah.
And they did say that Marvel and Kevin Feige said, just do whatever you want for the most part.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Where they did not do any sort of, well, this character wouldn't do this character didn't do this. And I wish there was a little bit more of that, because the logical progression that I was talking about in the first episode, it's horrible in the second episode. But as long as you can get rid of that and just like sidestep that and then watch it, it's like, okay, this is a cool thing. We have T'Challa and Yondu and Nebula and Thanos as like this new Guardians of the Galaxy, and Taserface. Come on, man! You ever think
Taserface
again?
We got Taserface.
What did you think of the second episode with Taserface?
Well, this is we're polars, because Guardians are my favorite 2 films of the MCU. Period. Guardians and Volume 2 are my favorite MCU. Yeah. Guardians are my favorite films. So it was harder for me to digest the drastic change of these characters, and to just crap all over Star-Lord like that. I went, nah, man, Star-Lord's my man. I wasn't falling in love with it. So the pacing for me in this one was a lot more plotting, because it's okay. So I really didn't like this episode very much.
Wow.
I have to watch it again because my son hasn't seen it yet and he wants to watch it. So we're gonna watch it together, and I want to see if I take that out of that preconceived notion of this is not my Guardians. This is obviously something very, very different. Because I just hated the way that Thanos would everything we know about Thanos, and now he's just this bartender guy. I
gotta be honest. I was watching it through. First time I watched it through, I shut it off there. I shut it off there. I'm like, I don't need to watch this now. I'll watch it with Devin
Yeah.
later. And then when I like picked it up and watched it with Devin later after like that had set in, like they're not
Mm-hmm.
doing the logical progression. This is not what they said it was. I was
Yeah.
okay with it. I think
And
you'll
that might
like it.
change my I
Yeah.
think that might
You're
change
right.
my
It's not
perspective
Thanos.
of it. Yeah, it's not Thanos. It's not
Guy that
Nebula.
burned
I
his
did like
daughter to commit
yeah, I
genocide.
liked some aspects. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just thought there was too many things, and I'll be really honest with you. My least favorite of all the MCU films is Black Panther.
You've said that
Uh,
before.
yeah, I've said it before
This is where
because I
Alan
think
is
it's
leaving the show tonight, guys. How
boss.
dare
Nice
you?
seeing you.
It's the
Bye bye.
king. Let's show some respect for the king, man.
No, I respect the fact that it's Chadwick Boseman's last vocal performance,
What did you
and
think of
much
the
love,
voice?
all love to Chadwick. Chadwick's one of the greatest actors,
Yeah.
was all the greatest actors. R.I.P. to that man. Greatest actors ever. He played two of the most iconic African American heroes to our nation. So he and James Brown, yes, and Thurgood Marshall. So he played. Yeah, so he played three, and just an amazing actor. I love. See, my Black Panther movie is Civil War. That's my Black Panther movie, because him in Civil War was beautiful and incredible and awesome, and told a very great story. What's that?
Did you like him in this? Like I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
I didn't like him because I don't think they dealt with his they lied to him in a way that they said that your kingdom, your people were not looking for you. They were not, and I don't think I think he would have dealt that character that we know would have dealt with that very, very differently. So I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the way they were doing that character. Because I love Black Panther. Black Panther's always been one of my favorite characters. I think the movie suffers from atrocious CGI and atrocious direction. So I think it's a terrible directed film.
In the ring with you, bro.
Well, I mean, Coogler did a hell of a job with the first Creed, but really that's about it. That's all I'll give him.
I'm so frustrated with his approach to like the whole T'Challa thing. Like I just think you need to that character. You need to he did it. He did it. He did what everybody is talking about doing, like bridge the gap. They're the most racially insensitive white people in the world that I know that enjoyed that movie. That enjoyed that movie. And it wasn't just, I loved Martin Freeman in that movie. They got to make more movies with Martin Freeman.
Put more Martin Freeman in it. Put more of the Hobbit in there.
Of T'Challa. And I just think that that's something that, even if you let him...
I think the world building...
This episode. Yeah.
I think the world building in Black Panther is astounding.
Yeah.
The costumes, the greatest costumes, the technology, all that stuff, fantastic. I even appreciated the mixing of the spiritual with the reality. I love all the stuff once he goes into sees his father. I really enjoy all that stuff, to be honest with you. I really like the world building. I just think the parts that really hurt that movie were the fight scenes, the action sequences, and the CGI. It was really hard to watch. But I like the world building, so I would like to see the next Black Panther film.
Yeah, because
I'm interested to see that because I like the world, and I'm interested in this Wakanda Forever, or this Wakanda show that they're probably putting to Disney Plus. I'm really interested in that.
It seems like it's going to be like a prequel series almost. Like it's almost going to be ancient Wakanda, which really fascinates me.
I don't know if that fascinates me so much because I'm so interested, and because we got that story. The biggest problem I have with the movie too is at the end of the movie of a Black Panther, we're going to share our technology with the world. We already did that in Civil War. Civil War. So I want to see that. I want to see how that happens. What happens next? I want to see that.
They're like doing the biggest disservice to themselves, saying they're not going to recast, because the guy that like I would have play T'Challa, he's right there. He's right there. It's Michael B. Jordan. I just have him play T'Challa. I wouldn't do any multiversal explanation or anything like that. You
Just have him play.
You just have him like do the T'Challa haircut. Have him in the suit. When he's in the suit and he adapts his voice to do that accent, I'm
but
telling
that's
you,
the problem. Jordan can't do that accent. Michael B. Jordan cannot do that accent.
I want to see if he can. But what gave me hope about this episode, especially of the What If, is that if they wanted to spin this off into its own animated series, like just have this T'Challa and just the way that you can do it with that is get a voice impressionist to do the voice that he did in this. You could have the character of T'Challa live on like this, because that was the thing about I love Black Panther. I just loved this like Star-Lord version of Black Panther so much more because he was so charismatic. He got to shine. Like
he did get to shine.
With Black Panther is that Black Panther's kind of he's very mellow in the Black Panther.
He's mopey.
He doesn't.
He's mopey sometimes.
Yeah, but like he doesn't. He's very. I don't even want to say one note because he's not one note. It's almost the story for him is one note. He doesn't get to shine.
That's the thing. And that's why I like Black Panther better in Civil War and in Infinity War, because you see his intention. And Chadwick Boseman was such an amazing actor that the smallest moments, that last scene with him and Zemo in Civil War, that brings me to tears. Because he's no, the world's not done with you yet. It's whoa, you see he'd go through all this amazing stuff. And it's a quiet scene, nice scene. And that by far to me shows you just gotta have a good director that knows how to handle those moments, because you already got the actor. Well, we don't anymore, unfortunately, but you've got the actor to do it. And Boseman is fantastic.
My biggest
was
problem
fantastic. Rest in peace.
Is, especially Infinity War, and this goes back to the Civil War thing too. Civil War, that Black Panther suit looks
perfect.
That like you could touch that, and you could feel like the woven vibranium on it. Like I could feel it by looking at it. Fast forward to Infinity War, they forget to CGI the suit. Like they have the suit that he wears, like the spandex thing that he wears on set.
Mm-hmm.
And they forget to like CGI over it, like they forget to touch it up.
Yeah.
So there's
touch it up.
2 or 3 like cuts where they go to him, and it's just the flattest looking thing ever, and you see the wrinkles in it, and I'm just like, oh no, no, it looks so good. What are you doing?
When he's running in Endgame, when he's got the gauntlet and is running, there's a couple.
A little bit better
but not by much. There's a couple scenes.
Not by much.
God, that looks so bad.
It's at least more consistent. It's at least more consistent. Yeah.
And
it looks
that was a good cheer. Yeah. That looks like a great cheer moment when we hear Sam's voice in Endgame and in Steve's ear, and then we see him T'Challa come through, and they just give that little nod, and it's all right. Here we go. The cavalry's arrived. Help's on the way. So it's a great moment. And I just think there weren't any of those moments in. I mean, the person who got the best moment in Black Panther was Warmonger, or what's his
Killmonger?
Killmonger. His closing statement, leave me at the bottom of the sea. That was the best moment in Black Panther.
I love it when he's in the throne room. He's like, I'm exercising my blood right. Like I love that scene too. Because he's we could talk about Black Panther all day, because he is the best player. Him and Okoye. I think Okoye she's gonna carry that sequel for me, because she's an Avenger.
She's amazing.
She fights Thanos twice.
No problem.
And she's with them in the 5 years.
She has some of the greatest moments. Yeah. She's a fantastic character, so we need her a lot.
We gotta stay on target. Aaron's gonna kill me for not staying on target.
I know, right? So we'll go to the third.
Murder mystery, big time galore. And this one, they don't even tell you what the Nexus point is until the end of the episode. No. So we are getting spoilers here. So the Nexus event for this one, and I do think if you do play it back to like that, with an exception of 1 or 2 characters in this, that the whole what if Hope Van Dyne was a SHIELD agent.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
like. That I like.
That I
'Cause
like.
she would
That
have
I like a
died.
lot.
Hank
Yeah.
would have gone insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that I did not put any of that together. You know, it was a nice little murder mystery that I didn't put any of it together. I didn't figure it out until
Oh, you didn't?
the moment, the reveal. Yeah, I went, oh, that's so
I
great.
thought it was Wasp. I thought it was Wasp, but then when they revealed it
Yeah.
was Hank Pym as
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket, I
Yellow
was like,
Jacket.
fuck yeah. I have a
It was
poster
cool.
on my
That was a
wall in
cool
the living
moment.
room that has all the Hank Pym characters. It has Ultron, it has Giant Man, it has Ant-Man,
Nice.
and it has Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket, the one that beat his wife and damaged Hank Pym's legacy so that he's not the lead Ant-Man in these movies. That's why. That's the reason,
Yeah,
right?
that's why. Yeah.
That's why Hank Pym isn't the lead Ant-Man in the MCU, was because his character never recovered from that.
You
So
couldn't
we get
recover.
that
You couldn't
version
recover.
of Hank Pym here, and it's
Yeah,
great.
and he's
So
crazy.
yeah,
And he's awesome.
and
And I love that we
Mm,
went back to Incredible Hulk, the forgotten MCU
yeah,
movie, right?
and it's
We go
Mark
back to those
Ruffalo.
scenes. Yep. We get Betty, which I loved.
Betty. I love
Having Betty in there. I really, really enjoyed. So I like this one, and I think when I watch it again, it might creep into my favorite.
Yeah,
And we
'cause
get
I
Coulson
hated
back, because that's one
Major
thing that
problem with the
kind of
episode is
bugged
Coulson.
me.
Yeah,
I bugged me a little bit, just a tiny
just
bit,
casually
about Infinity War
bisexual
and
stuff.
Endgame is we couldn't bring Coulson back. What's up? Because
Oh
he's
yeah,
back
no,
technically. Yeah.
with the Shield stuff. Did you watch Agents of Shield
I watched the first season.
first season? Me and my
Yeah.
father and Devin's been doing this with one of his friends. A lot of people
Mhm.
fell off of that show like after the
Yeah.
first season. Jump back on it
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, it's a Star Trek show in the MCU.
With Shield characters. Yeah.
That's how anybody who's a Star Trek fan like that I meet, I say watch Agents of Shield because it's the best Star Trek show that isn't a Star Trek show.
That isn't a Star Trek
They
show.
have the captain, they have the engineer, they have the doctor, that you have your tactical officers. Like everything in that show just like screams Star Trek to me sometimes.
Nice.
And they even go into space at one point. So yeah,
Cool.
but that's kind of what bothered me about the Coulson joke, because like he's just casually by now, like he's like, oh, Thor, he's gorgeous, because there are scenes in Ages of Shield where they talk about Thor, and Coulson even mentions like, well, yeah, he's handsome, but I mean, and Melinda May no one's like, no, he's gorgeous.
He's gorgeous.
Coulson saying that he's gorgeous, that just kind of threw me off. And that's the logical progression thing that I'm talking about, where it's just, and the Steve, I heart Steve thing with the past. He wasn't even out of the ice yet. Come on. That wouldn't be his password when he's not even out of the ice. I know he collects Captain America trading cards, but still, I collect Pokemon cards. I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm not playing with those now. They're not my password. But, you know, if whatever the hell his name, Obelisk the Tormentor, walks out into the real world, you're damn right I'm going to ask him to sign my trading cards. He's not my Google password right there. But once I found out it was like, oh, they're going with a murder mystery. This is supposed to be a murder mystery. I was on board for it, because when it was just kind of you're following Black Widow at first, like the first 15 minutes, that, again, the voice acting, she didn't do a bad Black Widow voice. It just really, it disconnects me when everybody else is the
original voice.
They are, and they're going 100%. Which Loki in this episode, this is the Loki I wanted. Yes, like he's milking every word. And even though half of the lines are lines that he's already said before, it's great. Like the speech that he gives at the end, where he gives the speech at the United Nations and is playing on the TV. The speech from Avengers, and they show it on Loki. Like, you were made to be ruled. Like he just says the word. It's the same thing with that glorious purpose speech. He said that speech 3 or 4 times now, but every time he says it with a little bit more like gravitas each time. With different spots. So this episode I really like, just for specifically for those 2 reasons, that we got Loki, the Loki that I wanted to see, and evil Hank Pym.
Evil Hank, Yellow Jacket. Yeah.
Because I thought it was because I had seen Janet's face when they were looking at the files 2 or 3 times before, and when they said I'm not the only Avenger left, I thought they were talking about Janet because Janet's face comes up when they're looking at the files for the Avengers Initiative. So I thought it was going to be Janet from the Quantum Realm, like back with a vengeance. But Hank Pym Yellow Jacket, I did like that reveal better. So that
I liked that reveal a whole
lot.
It made me really happy.
And the way he killed them all was perfect.
The way he killed that was the most shocking.
He's the most powerful man alive.
Right? And then he's put that little thing that expanded his heart to blow him up. I thought that was great. I went, that's really smart, clever, and awesome. Yeah, that's what you do. And I thought that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. As disgusting as it was still cool.
Yeah, and
I liked Mark Ruffalo, his voice. I thought he did great.
It didn't look like him, but it's not supposed to.
It didn't look like him. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean the animation, the design, because Black Widow did not look like Black Widow.
You know who did not do a good job in this episode? And it's just because he doesn't care anymore, and I'm surprised they even asked him. The animation. No, Sam was good. Sam was good for me.
Okay.
Because half of it he was Loki, so it didn't have to be like him during. It was like the Mendo thing in Far From Home. Far From Home. I'm watching that movie. I'm like, Sam Jackson's kind of mailing it in for this one. But then when it's somebody doing a Sam Jackson impression, like, oh no, that's brilliant. He was a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
But Frank Grillo.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It didn't help that the animation made him look really goofy. But even Sebastian Stan in the first episode, he's another one where they didn't get it with the animation, and he just didn't sound like the character, even though
it wasn't the same Bucky.
Same with Benicio in the second episode. But that's Benicio. The only time I know that that's Benicio is when he's like Karina. Like that's the only time it sounds like him. But for the rest of it, it's like he's doing this weird cartoon voice, and that's got to be a direction, because like
it's when you're
good voice acting out of it.
Yeah, because voice acting is so different it's all about physicality. It's all about physicality. When you're real and in a room, and you're moving through space, you're gonna sound different when you're in a room talking to a mic. You can, I mean, a lot of good animators or good voice actors will be moving with it and that kind of thing. But in order to get the voice perfect, they've got to be able to do something else.
Wear the costume when you come into the booth with us.
Yeah.
Wear the costume when you get, because Tom Hiddleston, somebody like Tom Hiddleston, he can do it. He can do it blind.
He would do it.
Because that was one of those things that they are so blessed that they have Tom Hiddleston, because one of the best scenes of Loki is Loki watching reruns. And did you see the behind the scenes for that?
Yeah.
They had nothing. They had they didn't have a monitor for him to act off of. They didn't have anything. And you know what? Shame on them. Horrible. Bad. No, I don't even know whether to blame the director or production for that. But as soon as I saw that in like that documentary, I was glad that this director wasn't coming back, because that's just one of those things like George Lucas in the prequels versus J.J. Abrams in the sequels. Tangibility.
Yeah, tangibility.
Even if you can add it in post and it looks seamless, which doesn't, the actor's reaction.
Have something.
That's the best scene in the show. Tom Hiddleston like reacting to all these moments in his life, and he's doing it blind. He's doing it blind. They're not giving him any notes. They don't know what they're putting there. We're just going to put it in post. That was my biggest problem with Loki, is because it felt like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'm excited for the next one. I'm enjoying this series.
I don't even know what it is. But like, I'm looking forward to it.
And my thing is I don't want to know. I don't want to see trailers. I don't want to see clips. There's nothing. I just want to go in whatever it is.
Like that's what has me excited. I know we're getting one with Jordan at some point.
Yeah, eventually.
He is a tremendous voice actor. He is a tremendous voice actor. He got most of his starting in voice acting. He's in Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. He's Cyborg in that.
He's Cyborg,
He's great. That I remember like seeing him pop up in, like, oh, this guy. This is a guy
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about that I haven't seen yet because I heard about movies like Chronicle and that other one that he did, Before Chronicle. That's what the movie's called, Before Chronicle. The Michael B. Jordan.
Before Chronicle.
Fruitvale
Station.
But
Which
I
is
heard
actually a good
things
film.
about him.
It's a good
Yeah.
film. That's a good movie. That's another Coogler one I'll give him.
Another Ryan Coogler joint. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
That's What If. I'm looking forward to moving forward. Now, we haven't talked about The Watcher. I like the sort of Twilight Zone-y thing to it. I just don't think it works because the whole entire
I don't think it works.
Like
yeah,
the thing.
I don't think it works.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like The Watcher because I'm a comic fan. So, but I don't think that they're for an introduction of such a weird character. You're not selling it. You're not doing it right. I think, and maybe that's because they might introduce him later on in a reality in a film. It could be Jeffrey Wright, could be whoever, but I just don't think they're doing this part well. So, it sounds it's a little too hokey for me.
I like the little where like he pops up with the eyes, like and he's watching. I like that. But like that part.
Yeah, the little visual cues are fine, but I would even say don't have a narration. You know what I mean? Just have that first narration of, and we ask the question, what if? And then we don't hear from him again. And we see him every now and then, cool, but yeah.
My problem is the content of the narration.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I'm okay with the narration because like the Twilight Zone thing, like Jordan Peele does those like new episodes, and like he does like the introduction in the intro, like journey into the world of the mystery, and that kind of reminds me of this. That's why I like it. It's just the content of what he's saying doesn't work. It's like, ooh,
it doesn't work.
There, that's the point where but it's not.
Yeah,
you're lying to it.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Wait.
And,
the TV way before that. But you said the Watcher from the comics, so he's totally gonna interfere. He says he will.
Probably Natsu did interfere. The one that did interfere. Yeah, especially Natsu, he does all the time. Yeah. So we'll see if that comes into it later.
Which episode does he interfere?
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll see. I guess we'll find out.
Because you're not casting Jeffrey Wright just to narrate.
No, you're not.
This
he could he could pop up in what's it called, Multitude of Madness or something?
Multitude of Madness.
Multitude of Madness.
The Multiplex of Madness.
Multiplex of Madness.
The Muscle Milk
Doctor
of
Strange
Madness.
film. He'll be
How far
here.
can you go with this? One thing we didn't
now
as far as
we have seen the Watchers before.
Oh, we have. Yes, Stan Lee on the moon.
That's right.
That was the Federal Express at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Eye of Agamotto. That's another thing playing strange. Now he is wearing it in Endgame.
Yeah.
There's a shot where he's wearing it in Endgame, so it's not. It doesn't throw me off that much. Like it probably has other mystical properties other than just housing the time zone. It has it, but is that a red flag for you, saying that maybe it's not strange?
No,
it's strange. Yeah, I think it's strange. Yeah. You're right. He's just arrogant. It's hubris.
Yeah,
he's got a god.
It's hubris. It's like hubris. And
if his surgeries went wrong, he probably blamed the patient.
All right.
Like, is he saying that in the trailer? He's like, no. The problem is you're conflicted about who you want to be. No, the problem is a teenager said that he made a mistake, and you want to what you should have done is said, hey,
reshape time.
Undo all of your mistakes, kid. You know,
right?
I'll be
exactly
there
right.
But you gotta live with this. If you want to crash,
you gotta live with it, dude.
For a while, that's fine. I can hide you from the world if you want me to, but you gotta kind of ride this one out. You can't.
You gotta ride this one out and figure it out.
And that's Wong's whole like Wong and
Wong says it best. Don't do it. Too dangerous.
Are we gonna see Baron Mordo in this movie? Because that was his whole thing. Like you're tampering with the natural order. This is definitely tampering with the natural order. When are we gonna see that guy pop up again?
It would be nice because that's such a good character, and Ejiofor needs some love. You know.
God,
come back.
He elevates everything that he's in.
He's so good. He's always amazing. I love that guy.
Guard movie on Netflix. He was good in.
Yeah, he was great in that movie.
Yeah.
He's always good.
He's even good in that awful Lion King remake, even though they don't let him sing "Be
Oh,
Prepared."
yeah,
Just he's giving a speech. He's saying it as like a tone poem, like it's like
as
Darth
a
Maul's,
tone poem, yeah, a
and then
boring
he just
tone
ends it
poem.
with "Be
Yeah,
prepared." It's a
it's
great
awful. It's
song.
awful.
Like they have the Nazi march with it in the end of
Right.
it. Like just do that.
Awful. Yeah.
It looked
Awful.
awesome. Bad guys.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any other interesting tidbits that you thought of this week?
Not really. I mean, just
How you been feeling?
better, good. I'm fine.
Better. Excellent.
Feeling a little congested today, which is weird, but I think it's more sinus based than than anything else. Because my sinus has been going crazy.
Because like the barometric pressure here just like dropped or raised.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys are about to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not you hitting you, but that hurricane coming to Louisiana, that changes barometric pressure all over that section of the country. It's going to affect you, and so it was
100 degrees yesterday. It's like 58 now.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it swings way too much here.
That's way too. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. They film
we
a lot
don't
of
have that.
I guess though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have Chris Evans.
True.
What more could you ask for? You don't get good weather and
Chris
the number one Chris. You know? Yeah, you don't get both. So
nice.
So yeah, since we have time, let's rank the Chris's.
Rank the Chris's.
Who's your number one Chris?
Of the we're going for the 4.
The 4. Pine.
Man,
Pine,
I'll be honest with you. Every time I'm watching those the JJ Star Wars or Star Trek, I love Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine, Captain Kirk. I love him.
I
love him.
It's great.
I love him.
I love the entire cast.
And now I can't blame Chris Pine on this one, but Wonder Woman 84. Good God, I hate that movie.
Yeah. That movie benefited from nothing else being out.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Oh God, I hate that movie so much. They made a reference to it.
Hundreds of thousands of YouTube views the day that it came out.
Yeah. But,
you're mad at me for getting YouTube views? What the hell, man?
What the hell? What? I think it depends on what they're in. Oh, somebody already did. Brian ranked them. Wow. He put Pine 4 and Pratt as 1. See, mine changes depending on what they're playing. Yeah. I think it depends on what they're playing. Because
do you like asshole Evans or like stoic Evans?
Any Evans I like, honestly. And that's the same with all of them. I think they're all really, really talented and they can play multiple things. I think Hemsworth is better when he's doing comedy. So I think he's the most limited. He was really great, but he had some great comedic moments in that short scene. I think he's a little more limited than the other ones. But I don't know. It just depends on what they're doing. I can't rank them really. I can't.
I mean, I know I have it. Evans and Pine 1, 2. I don't know which one is which one's 2. And then I'd say Hemsworth and Pratt. Even though I really like Pratt, like I'm a big Parks and Rec guy. I loved that show. It's just more. He's there to be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Like everything that he's there to be Chris Pratt. Where Hemsworth is Chris Hemsworth. It's like, whoa, it's Chris Hemsworth. But like something like Star Trek before he was even noticed. But like that was before he did Thor. Like that was during the Thor production. So something like that. He does good dramatic stuff too when he needs to. And Rush. Come on, man. Rush. Hemsworth has Rush. Oh God, it's hard. It's not easy.
Rush is great. That's a great film.
Yeah.
I saw somebody ask me if I've seen
Hemsworth Pratt. Yeah.
Hell or High Water. I really wanted to enjoy that movie more than I did. I thought it was boring. Yeah. I mean, straight up, I just thought it was boring. Yeah. I wanted to enjoy it, but I think the person who did the best in that movie was Jeff Bridges. to be honest with you.
Yeah. There's something about Pine. I saw something with Evans the other day where Chris Pine like walks by him at like a Disney thing, and Evans says, "Stop it, you with your blue eyes." I mean, kinda. Yeah. The guy. Look. I mean, out of all of them, who looks the most like a Disney prince? It's Pine.
Oh no, Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, really?
Hemsworth is the prettiest, by hands down.
He's got a wig though. That's a wig.
Even without the wig, though, even with the short hair, he's still that's a dreamy man.
That's the thing with this week's.
It's a dreamy man.
Like his hair, gorgeous.
His hair,
he's got gorgeous. It's an accurate description, sir.
Yeah. I mean, any of them, you know. If you say, "Hey, I'll switch into their body and face for a day so I can go meet women," then any of them. But
now you're okay. Now you're taking it to the creepy level. God, I was just.
I'm gonna Freaky Friday any of them. If I'm Freaky Friday in any of them, I'm actually gonna do Evans with his Captain America body.
Evans. Here's the thing, though. I don't even know if he like they haven't shown like his body. Oh wait, no, the helicopter scene. I forgot about the helicopter.
That helicopter, boy.
Damn, you believe a man can pull a helicopter out of the sky?
That's one of the greatest scenes ever. Yeah. Love it.
And then just Bucky's face, like, what the?
What the hell?
Pull a helicopter out of the sky.
I'll be honest with you though. Sebastian Stan is a pretty dude, man. Bucky's a pretty dude. I'm taking it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know you're ranking the Chris's, but I'll go because I loved Falcon Winter Soldier primarily just because I think Andrew Mackie. I think he's great. I like. I'm glad he's coming back for Captain America 4.
Captain America.
He's gonna be our Captain America, which I'm super happy about. But we'll see what happens.
You didn't even mention the greatest actor of our generation.
The greatest actor of our generation?
Yes. Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
He's on screen for 58 seconds. 58 seconds. Yeah. Give him an award. Give him Iron Man. Iron Man's been Iron Man for all these years. But you know what? No, he didn't do it right. He didn't go to TV. You go to TV, the Academy TV is so much more forgiving than the one in movies.
He did.
Thank you, War Machine.
War Machine shows up in Winter Soldier or Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier.
For an Emmy. He's nominated for an Emmy.
Nominated for an Emmy.
Greatest actor of our generation.
Yeah. I've always loved Cheadle though, so in almost everything. So except there's a couple things I refuse to watch that I know he's in. For example, I won't watch that new Space Jam movie, even though I know he's the antagonist.
Great. He's great.
But I can't watch that movie.
All right, spoiler for Space Jam. He turns into a CGI monster at the end. It's great. It's
nice.
And there's honestly, you can fast forward because there's everything in Space Jam 2 that's good is it is like you could clip out. Like you could watch Space Jam 2 in like a half hour if you wanted to, and just
nice.
But there is one great part with Michael. There's a Michael Jordan joke in it with an incredible cameo. I don't know if you heard of it.
I have not.
Oh my god, the movie is worth it for this one scene.
Okay.
The greatest cameo maybe ever.
Okay.
And it's just so disappointing because after he walks on to the screen, it's like, oh my god, no, this movie would have been so better with you in it. What are you doing?
Damn it.
We don't deserve you. But yeah, no, it's worth the watch. I will say that much about it.
All right. I'll see. Well, if my kids ever say, "Hey, let's watch this," then we'll go for it. But
it has a good like soundtrack. Like they use like when they do the animated characters, like they use that '89 score. They use the Superman theme for animated Superman. It really fits. They use the Wonder Woman theme. I just got the
only good thing to come out of it.
So I'm gonna.
All right. I gotta break out of here because speaking to the kids, blah, 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 that's all, folks.
I don't know
But
what it's
my
like.
brother was good talking to you about this stuff, so it was good to be
Yeah.
here.
Good to see you, bro. Hey, Moose.
Yep,
Hey.
good to see you. Somebody, I guess nobody else is popping in, so
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do a little outro. I'll riff a
do a
little
little
bit.
outro and then
And
call
then,
it. All right,
call it a night. Yeah.
shoots.
Good to see you,
Have a
bro.
good night, my man. Good to see you.
Thanks for being here.
And we will be let's we need something else to come out so we can do our review every week.
I mean, I'm
That's what we
excited
need to
about the
do.
Hawkeye show. I don't know when Hawkeye
The
show
what?
comes out. The Hawkeye show.
We'll do that for Hawkeye. Let's do that for
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
for Hawkeye, without a doubt.
I'm getting played out with the lights.
Get out. Get out. He's gone, everybody. All right. Thank you for joining us on this experiment for TMG After Dark. It was just me and Alan tonight, and Diaz in the comments. Thank you so much for contributing. Space Jam 2 is one of the worst movies he's seen this year, but you know what? I liked it. Yeah, you're probably right. But that's the thing about like movies coming out like straight to digital and not coming out in theaters. I haven't seen a lot of movies this year that I've hated. I've liked most of the movies that I've watched. We should have done like review show for the Bad Batch. Diaz, I'm gonna be honest with you. Only reason we didn't do that, that's on me. That was my ball. I was supposed to hold that ball for that review show. I had it all ready to go. And then the night it premiered, my back was just killing me and I couldn't do it. But I do have on my channel, Nikki Flicks, I did a live watch along with the finale. I was up at 3:30 a.m. And you can watch that if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that. But thank you everybody for joining us. I know this was a little different tonight. Hopefully we can get some of the other guys here next week and take a little bit to get their thoughts on What If in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Kind of thinking of doing reshoots, like reshoots for TMG After Dark, like get to things that we didn't get to and just like shoot little clips of people that may have not have gotten to share their thoughts on something or anything else. So if you want to pre-record videos and give me like some sort of pre-record thing to do for a pre-recorded show, let me know. We can get that edited out there. Thank you for joining us tonight, TMG Entertainment. Shout out to Aaron, Matt Beer. Matt Beer, thanks. We're all thinking of you here. And Aaron, we're thinking of you too, wherever you may be tonight. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ah, crap. Oh, there we go.